For almost a week now, the outcry over trees being chopped down near Castle Manor in Moncton has For almost a week now, the outcry over trees being chopped down near Castle Manor in Moncton has spread from the property's lawns to social media circles to City Council. But the developer who ordered the cuts has remained silent, save for a letter printed in the paper. Shawn Dempsey is Stephen Gallant's lawyer. He says they've been working behind the scenes to find a solution to make all sides happy. Dempsey spoke to the CBC's Lindsay about their side of the story.
Steve has owned this particular piece of land for approximately, I think it is 10 years now. And while it's nice to own a piece of land, at some point, in order to recoup the costs associated with ownership, paying taxes, maintaining property, something eventually has to be done with the piece of land from a developer standpoint. So in looking at several options of what could be done with the land, Steve's initial intent was to cut down approximately 9 to 10 trees. His plan was to try to keep as many trees as possible and to try to maintain as much of the green space as possible.
What other kind of inaccuracies did he see in the way that this issue has been publicized?
From the very beginning, everyone talked about this property being a heritage property. And in fact, the lot on which, or the area in which many of the trees are actually located is not in fact a heritage property. There's two lots at play here. It's not all one lot in which Castle Manor or Alcorn Castle is located and where the trees are. So some of the trees do fall on what could be a heritage property, some don't. And I guess the last comment I'll make on that is that the heritage bylaw deals primarily with things such as buildings and facades and other like structures, and doesn't, in my reading at least, deal with trees.
So is this really a legal issue, or is it more, of a moral or emotional issue about these trees?
Well, anyone who watched council deliberations on Tuesday evening heard councillors indicate that there did not seem to be any type of bylaw or law broken. So to answer your question, it's probably not a legal issue. They also, at council, you've probably heard reference many times to what some people deem to be moral or immoral or appropriate or inappropriate behavior with respect to the trees. So everyone will have their different opinion with respect to whether or not a tree should be cut down. And there's one side of the coin that talks about the value of the trees, and the other side about landowners' rights and what they can and cannot do with their own privately owned land, and that seems to be the balancing act that municipalities like the City of Moncton have to deal with. He's already met with City Council, or I shouldn't say City Council, but representatives of City Council and City staff yesterday, and he's willing to continue to meet with them to try to find a solution that keeps everyone happy.
Did anything come of yesterday's meeting?
We had the opportunity with members of City Council and also City staff to talk very positively about some options that could be pursued to try to keep everyone as happy as possible in the circumstances. Well, we've put a few things on the table as of yesterday, and we're waiting for replies to the things that were discussed yesterday during the meeting. So unfortunately, I don't have a time frame.
Is there any way you can tell us a little bit about the options that were floated?
They're so preliminary in nature in the sense that the parties that were raising these options, it's the first time that they've been sort of put on the table. So they're not far enough along that it serves any benefit to anyone in really getting too far into them. But certainly when they've been discussed a bit more, I think that would be an appropriate time to maybe expand on what they involve.
And right now, from a standpoint, will more trees be cut down, or has that all been put on hold?
Well, at this point, again, to reiterate what Stephen has already done, is that he's not continued with his plan, and he is talking to City Council. So at this point in time, it's basically status quo until the parties have had an opportunity to hash out what needs to be discussed and to determine what lies ahead.
Shawn Dempsey is the lawyer representing Moncton developer Stephen Gallant. He was speaking with the CBC's Lindsay Bird. If you have a comment that you would like to share on this issue or anything else you hear on our program, call our talkback line. 853-6636 is the number to call in the Moncton area. If you're calling from outside the Moncton area, we do have a toll-free long-distance line, 1-800-222-1061. Or you can send us an email, infomorning@moncton.cbc.ca, or go to our Facebook page. You can just follow the links on our website and leave your comments on our Facebook wall.